You can't start it off like that.
ASMR.
That's the word.
Hello and welcome back to That Gym Couple podcast.
Hosted by Callum and Lucy.
Indeed. This week...
Indeed.
Sorry, I'm having a matcha. It makes me go, woo. This week, we are going to give you a little bit of a catch-up, seeing as we missed last week because we were away. So we're going to tell you all about our holiday.
We're going to discuss our running, training, everything in between, and update you all on that with just over a week looming before our dreaded half marathon.
It's not dreaded. And we've also got a listener's message, and I think we're going to throw in a little game at the end as well.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's get on with the episode.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Do you know what I was thinking?
Oh, something about the weather?
Yeah, actually, about the weather. I can't remember the last time I woke up and it wasn't raining.
Oh dear, here we go.
It's true. Anyway, no, what I was going to say is I was watching this series on Netflix called... Oh, you've been dipping in and out of it. Nobody Wants This.
Is that the one with
two sisters that have a podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love... What's her name? Reese Witherspoon.
No. It's not Reese Witherspoon.
Oh God, what's her name? Oh, I can't remember her name.
Remember.
I love her though. They have their own podcast, the two sisters, and they were like just doing it in their lounge, but they had a little neon sign that says "Nobody Wants This," which was the name of their podcast. When we have like more space or a house or whatever, we need to jazz up our setting a bit. Like we're just on a white sofa with a white wall.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
I mean, it's not the end of the world because I think most people listen over watching.
Yeah.
But I would like to have a cool little
I guess it makes us
sign
feel like we're more
in a podcast. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There is something to be said about the environment you're in and, you know,
Workspace.
it's literally just us two. Like, we don't have... Most podcasts I watch, obviously, they're bigger than ours. They've got producers. They've got people setting it all up. Like, we have to set this all up. And we just do it because...
On the TV show, their podcast is very low budget, or initially at the start.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even
give
have
it away.
mic stands.
That's true. They just hold them, which we could probably just do.
Yeah, but imagine the sound quality as you're banging it around everywhere and dropping it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's just it's true, to be fair. They don't have a producer either. They just make it up. But
then they do get like a...
Don't tell them. People might want to watch it.
Okay. Well,
It is a really good series if anyone wants to watch it. Anyway, it's been a little while because we are terrible podcast hosts and obviously went away last week. And then when we came back, well, actually, we both caught a cold, didn't we, on the way over, which was just typical because you go away to relax and come back rejuvenated and recharged. And I think I probably picked something up on the plane over because I felt like the first couple of days I could feel I was getting ill, or it was just the mountainous air. I don't know.
They're supposed to make you feel good.
I know, but seeing as I didn't have a jumper, I probably caught a cold.
It's not how you catch a cold.
I know, but they say that, don't they?
Yeah.
You'll catch a cold if you go out there without a coat.
Yeah, Lucy booked us. We've got a rule now whenever we go away. So Lucy's allowed to pick 5 choices for accommodation, and then I have to vet them for location and convenience.
Because Callum doesn't care as much as like where we like what it looks like, but I do. And I'm not trying to be snobby, but I feel like part of going away is where you stay, unless you're going to be spending like no time there. But I do think if you're going on holiday and you've saved up and everything, part of it is having a nice hotel or a nice Airbnb because it's holiday, you know. You want it to be nice. And
I did well when we went to Copenhagen.
Where did we stay? Oh my God, I literally can't remember.
It's a nice, really nice hotel.
Oh, yeah, that was... Did you book that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was lovely. I'm pretty sure you sent me options, though.
Yeah.
That was a really good location and it was really nice, yeah.
Whereas, yeah,
so we went to Lake Como, for anyone that doesn't know. And it was obviously amazing, but there were a few inconveniences.
Yeah, the accommodation the view was absolutely stunning. But it was
at the top of a mountain.
So
yeah, I didn't check that one out. Basically, you can blame the girl on my Instagram because I put up I don't think
I don't think you can blame her.
No, you can't really. But I put
She
something up
gave
on
us-
my Instagram that was like, any recommendations of where to stay in Lake Como? And a few people replied, and she replied and was like, this is where I stayed, where I went, and it was amazing, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I've seen that one on Airbnb. Perfect. If I've got a recommendation, then it must be amazing. So I just sort of booked it. And she did say it is at the top of a hill, but like, I just didn't quite understand what she meant when she said that.
Yeah, you look on like maps and it doesn't look that far away because
technically it's not that
but
far.
also it's like an above view. So it doesn't take into account the sheer
like
cliffs.
It's when someone says a hill, I thought like maybe a 20-minute hill. Like when we went to Marbella, it was a bit of an annoying hill, but it was doable.
Yeah.
But this was like, well, going up the top of a mountain, like winding road around the top of the mountain.
Proper Italian roads and stuff. So
and that would have been fine if we had a car, but we decided to not hire a car. We never really do, just because normally we stay quite central.
Yeah, like we've never really bothered or needed to, and it's just an added expense, and it's
an added worry. I worry
driving
about
from the airport to your accommodation on foreign roads can be a bit unnerving. So,
and I just feel pressure because it's not your car.
I don't think though. I mean, we would have used it every day to drive up and down.
We would have, but we wouldn't have had those lovely Aperol Spritz in the afternoon.
No, exactly.
Like, we're not big drinkers, but if we're on holiday, we might have one in the afternoon. And I'm not drinking and driving. So,
no.
Yeah, we didn't hire a car, and I think we just didn't, or I didn't do the research, and I didn't quite understand the scope of where we were going. Like, I'm just like that, a bit way with the fairies, really. But basically, I saw the view on the Airbnb and I was like, sold.
Yeah, that was amazing.
If I'm going to Lake Como, I want to have a view of the lake. So that's what sold it to us. But yeah, car, 2 buses a day.
It genuinely had to have one of the best views of the lake because we could see
everything.
Bellagio, Menagio. We could see all the way down one way. We could see all the way across the other. Like it was right on it forks off into 2 directions. Well, 3 directions, I guess. So there's a bit that goes north, there's a bit that goes south, and there's a bit that kind of comes off to the west and then goes down to the southwest. And we were like right on the edge, so we could see like all of it, which was really nice. And yeah, like it
was stunning, but it was a very basic Airbnb. Like, I think they obviously know that the view is what sells it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, it was tricky because the public transport was very infrequent.
Yeah. It was good. Like it ran, and we used it all the time. But it just meant that we couldn't. We had to plan our day around when we could use it because there would be one that ran at 5, and that was the last one going back up. And then there was a shuttle bus service at like 9 from 9 o'clock, which was free, which was absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
but
you'd never get that here.
But
there were ways around it. It was just like, when you go away and you go out for the day and then you want to come back to your hotel, freshen up a little bit, have a little bit of a chill, then go back out again. It wasn't easy to do that because you had to have some way of getting back up the hill. And if you had missed the only bus, you were screwed. There was no taxis around. So you just had to stay out for the whole day.
We can't complain too much though.
No, we can't. It sounds terrible.
I only paid for 1 bus ticket each for like the whole week.
Thought you were going to say you only paid for the flights. It was part of Callum's birthday present, to be fair. Yeah, the bus service. It was great, and we can't complain. Like, we got to go to Lake Como. Like, we're so lucky to have been able to do that and to say we've seen it. Yeah, and been
it was
there.
Really nice. It was definitely on your bucket list as well, wasn't it? And
yeah, it was. But I don't want to sound really negative, but I will just say when you put something so high in your expectations,
I think though, if we'd have gone in the summer, you would have felt differently about it.
Maybe.
Going in September, it was going to be a little bit cooler. I mean, the weather was fine. It was, it wasn't super warm, but because we're up in, the mountains and stuff. But
I think I thought we'd be like renting a boat on the lake and jumping in, but it was like freezing, and I was like, I'm not going on a boat. It's too cold.
The amount of Americans and Australians there, though, was insane.
We met some really nice people, didn't we?
Yeah. Like, I heard more American and Australian accents than Italians.
Yeah, that was the only thing. And I love Americans, but You know, when you go somewhere, like you really want to
Y'all
feel
are
like
great.
you want to feel like you're, you know, immersed in it, and you're in like authentic Italy. And
Yeah.
you don't really hear any Italians,
No.
only the waiters.
Yeah, yeah. And even there, you don't know if they're just putting on an accent and they're from somewhere else.
They're not. I think, unfortunately, some places have been slightly spoiled by tourists. And we are tourists, so we can't really talk. But like, it's a little bit like when I went to Venice. It was
Venice is...
it was actually just quite unbearable.
Yeah, yeah.
It was such a beautiful place, but just so busy.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one with somewhere like Lake Como, because a lot of people were staying in, say, Milan or Como itself, and they were like traveling up to the small towns and stuff throughout the day. So it was just very difficult. Like where we were was like a main train station going up through Lake Como, so everyone gets off there to get the ferries to everywhere else. So when you come down into the town, and there's chaos. So many tourists, everyone's there because they've just jumped off the train for a day trip out, and then they get the last train back, and it's lovely that they're able to do that. And you know, we essentially did the same, I suppose. But
you do live there though must find it so stressful.
Yeah, probably.
It's like when I lived in Bath, it was a bit like that.
Yeah, or like Cheltenham on race week.
Yeah. So it was pretty crazy. It was one of those where it's like you kind of needed a holiday to get over it, because it was actually really exhausting, like having to like get up and down, and you're walking around all the time.
One thing I will say is neither of us liked Milan.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
We got the train to Milan one day just to like change things up. That's not true.
There was one thing I liked about Milan. There was like a 4-story Zara men's, just men's.
I've taught him so well.
And there were like 4 Zaras.
Yeah, we went to every single Zara in Milan.
Crazy.
Because for some reason we got in our heads that we both needed a new outfit.
Sorry. No, we went to Zara in Milan.
Oh, yeah.
Because Lucy packed for the weather she wanted, not the weather that it was. So we had to go and get her In my defence,
BBC weather said 24 degrees, but it was like very, very cold 24 degrees.
Yeah. It was probably about 20.
It was probably 24 when the clouds parted for 20 minutes. Yeah. And then as soon as the cloud cover came on, it was freezing cold. And I was wearing summer dresses. Like, you know, like you envision like those... like you've got your Pinterest board and you're wearing like a beautiful summer dress and you're walking around one of the villas. Yeah. That was what I wanted. That's not what I got.
What was your favourite place?
I really liked the villa, the botanical gardens in Verona.
Caprese,
yeah.
That was my favourite, I think.
Yeah, but unfortunately I was really cold that day, which was annoying.
It was stunning. When the sun came out there, though, it was absolutely stunning.
And then we had a really nice last day in Menagio. Was it Menagio? Yeah, it was Menagio. Because it was a little bit quieter, the sun came out.
I actually really like Bellagio as well. A lot of people said like that they didn't like it so much because it was very touristy, and it was. But once we'd done our little tour rounds ourselves, and we stopped and we had that little coffee.
Yeah.
And we were just sort of people watching for a bit.
Watching the world go by, yeah.
That was quite nice.
Yeah.
And then we missed the ferry back because some people in front of us were really slow.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got all upset. They were like, "What do you mean we've missed it?" And I really wanted to say, well, if you'd have actually walked a bit faster, you would have got there. And you made us late as well.
Yeah.
But then we got on first because we pretended we were part of a tour group.
And we ate a lot of pizza and pasta.
Yeah. It was very good.
Yeah. That's it, really.
We didn't run.
No engagement ring.
No engagement ring, no. We didn't run. We didn't train.
No. Our run coach, my brother-in-law, did say if you can go for a run when you're away, do it. But just like do it and enjoy it and take in the surroundings.
So like, you're in Lake Como, you've got to run if you're there.
Yeah, if you don't run in Lake Como, are you mad? I was like...
I don't know how we would have got up and down the mountain.
Well, what I'm annoyed about is I use precious suitcase space for my running trainers, which are really bulky.
Which you could have worn instead of getting blisters.
What?
You wore a pair of sandals.
You're telling me to wear Saucony's, whatever you say it, with a summer dress.
Okay.
I think not.
you got blisters on the first day.
Yeah, hun, I'm not going to wear running trainers with a
and
summer
then
dress.
proceeded to wear exactly the same shoes for the whole week.
Yeah, because I planned all my outfits around the sandals.
Complaining the whole time that you had blisters and your feet hurt.
Do you know what? It's a miracle we didn't argue the whole week, really.
And I said to you before you went, she was going to just take one pair of shoes. And I persuaded her to take some trainers. She was like, I'm packing light. I'm only taking one pair of shoes. And I was like, do you think that's a good idea? Do you know what you should have done?
Callum, I'm bored of hearing this.
You should have packed a jumper.
Shut up. Yeah, okay, I've learnt my lesson.
Anyway.
Guilty as charged.
Anyway.
But yeah, we didn't run when we were there. It was quite frankly, and I don't want to say impossible. Obviously, it wasn't impossible, but I genuinely don't know how we would have done it, because if we'd gone down into the town to run, there would have just been way too many people.
Well, we would have run out of the town.
Well, whatever. And we couldn't have run down, couldn't have run up.
Yeah.
So we just were like, okay, she's replied. Sorry,
Okay.
just had a really exciting email. Yeah, so we didn't run, but we did come back and got straight back on it. Literally, last week was our first week back after holiday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we got back on Sunday and went straight back to the gym on Monday. We ran Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah.
We smashed it.
It was good. We had a good week last week.
We had a really good week last week. We ran 18 kilometres, so our longest run to date last Saturday. Well, I ran 18 kilometres. Callum...
She keeps doing this.
Sorry.
You do this every single time you bring it up.
Let's just be honest.
You're like, I ran 18 kilometres. Callum ran 16.
Let's just be real.
But why do you have to bring it up?
Because that's the truth.
Yeah, it is the
it's
truth.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just
You were the one who
stating
said
the
we,
truth.
and then you changed your mind.
Okay, well, we set out to do an 18 kilometres. Callum was feeling some niggles, so it was not good for him to carry on, because we have a very long run next weekend in the half marathon. So it wasn't a good idea for you to carry on. You were in too much pain.
No, I agree.
It wasn't because you couldn't do it. You will smash it on the day. You were in pain. It's not a good idea.
I know. I think I probably did a bit too much last week.
Yeah.
Because going back to the gym to train, did 3 runs, started back up at rugby training as well. So yeah, I'd need to just take it easy for the next week and a half, and yeah.
But it did go really well. I thought, for me, I personally felt that was probably one of my best long runs. I actually quite enjoyed it, weirdly. I don't know why.
How's running going this week?
Yeah, all right. So this week, I just got back from, I was going to do my 6K on the treadmill at the gym. I just couldn't be bothered to run outside, basically. And I had electrolytes. Normally I would have electrolytes an hour before I run, but I just forgot. So I just popped them in my water bottle and I was like, cool, I'll stretch, have some electrolytes and then start running. Terrible idea. I had the worst heartburn and indigestion ever. I don't know if it's from the electrolytes. Is that a thing?
Possibly.
Or maybe my lunch, but I had lunch maybe it wasn't as long as I thought it was.
You like to eat half an hour before.
Well, I had lunch at 1. No. Yeah, maybe 1:30, and then I got to the gym at 2. But I probably didn't start running till 1:15. So I don't know whether it was that or the electrolytes, but I'm genuinely not trying to make excuses. I was quite looking forward to that run, and I honestly felt like I was going to be sick. When it's right in your stomach area. No, not even my stomach area, my
diaphragm.
Yeah, it was awful. So I only did 3K, and I was like, I physically can't. I was like, I'm going to be sick. In hindsight, I maybe should have walked for a bit, but I just was like, if I can't do it properly, just don't do it, which is really bad. And now I feel quite guilty about it, but it's what
That's
it
right.
is.
Got 2 more runs this week.
Yeah, what we're quite glad about is I think we both thought that my brother-in-law would schedule us 20 kilometers, because we did 18 and I thought he might want us to try and get to 20 before race day, but then he sent our plan through this week and he was like, just take it easy, 10k on Sunday, which is so nice.
But think about when we started, when we were getting to 10k, it was 10k is crazy. So on that note, I'm going to jump into a listener's message.
Oh, okay.
Because it's actually on a
relatable note. Okay.
So, listener's message. Hey Lucy and Cal, I've been loving your podcast and hearing about your running experiences. I'm trying to increase my running distance and could use some advice. What strategies or tips do you both use to build up your distance? Would love to hear what's worked for you.
Great question. And I had a really similar one on my TikTok this week, actually. They probably don't know that we have a podcast, but yeah, I had a really similar question.
Maybe it's the same person.
Maybe. I mean, look, first thing I would say is we're not experts. Just because we've been training for a half marathon doesn't mean that we're necessarily qualified
in this
to answer these questions, but we can only say what we've been doing and what's worked for us.
And for clients, I suppose.
Yeah, like I will say that a lot of our clients have been inspired by our running, which is so lovely. And clients that have never run before are running 10Ks, half marathons. It's amazing. And that's the whole purpose of why we do what we do, to inspire others. So it's great. But yeah, we as I've said before, have enlisted the help of my brother-in-law who's done triathlons, Ironman, marathons. Like, he's mental. And he's helped my sister train for half marathons and duathlons and things.
Didn't she accidentally enter a British final or something like that?
Oh yeah, so her duathlon, which was run, bike, run. I think it was run, bike, run, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah.
And she didn't realise, she found out at the end that it was the women's finals.
British finals or
professional finals or something.
She did really well.
She did really, really well, bless her. But yeah, so my brother-in-law has been sort of guiding us on this journey. Thank God, really, because it's really given us some structure.
I mean, he loves it. And
we have to get him something.
Yeah, we will. We'll give him a little thank you.
So helpful.
But his I mean, what I'd take away from the training that we've been doing is just take it slow.
Yeah, that's the key thing.
The old adage, don't run before you can walk.
Yeah.
Kind of
pun
takes
I think you got to avoid injury by building it up slowly,
but you might hear this time and time again when you're running, it's just time on feet. And initially,
we had no idea what that meant.
When we first started out, I was like, I get it, whatever, just keep doing it. But it just means just building up the distance per week.
Your body just getting more used to the
varying your training as well, varying the types of runs that you do. Like, we do 3 different types of runs a week. So we'll do an easy run, which is usually roughly a 5K at a slow pace. It's more of a recovery run just to keep your body moving. We do a type of interval run or threshold running, which is usually a faster pace, then a recovery pace, faster pace, recovery pace.
And that's changed quite a bit. So we wouldn't be able to say do this, because I don't really know why my brother-in-law has been scheduling different ones, but we've done fartlek training, we've done tempo runs, we've done 10 times 800 meters, 10 times 400 meters, all different types.
That the idea of that is to build up your speed.
Yeah, of course. I just mean I wonder what his thinking behind, some weeks it's 10 times 400 meters, some days it's 4 times 1.6. It's been
because
so
I guess
different.
it's being able to run at a certain speed for a different period of time or distance, So doing 10 times 400 meters, it's using different
quicker for short,
but
amount
it's using
of time.
Different recovery parts of your body to really recover from that. And then you can build that up, and then and then on the weekend we do our long run, which is, we started out with a 5K, and literally every week it's just gone up by 1K.
The long ones, yeah.
That's pretty
That's
much
literally it. As Callum says, that's so crazy that we started on a 5K, and then the next weekend it was 6, 7, 8, 9, and there has been weeks where we've missed them, and we've either gone back or we've added 2 on or something. We have by no means been perfect. We've not really been tracking our calories. We could have done it a lot better, maybe,
during this time we wanted to just both be eating intuitively.
Yeah, just
if I'm
fueling
hungry,
our
I want to eat, because my body's obviously hungry, and the output is so much more than what it was before.
Yeah.
You can train in the gym and do resistance training and lose weight just by managing your diet, and you're going to lose some strength and you're going to lose some energy levels, but not in the same way that you would if you were doing this amount of training that we're doing now.
yeah, it's a lot. And that's one thing that we've learned is you just got to fuel your body properly, like getting the like nutrition right before you run, prioritizing stretching, like rest days. It's just also important. Changing your training up when you're getting towards those longer runs. Like I couldn't do 2 upper days, 2 lower days anymore.
No.
If anything, at the moment, I'm doing like 1 leg day a week.
Yeah. I mean,
and I
guess,
notice my runs are better.
And I think that's because we've been scaling back the training in the gym as we've been getting closer to the half marathon. And afterwards, we're not just going to go straight back into doing 2 leg days, 2 upper body days. And, it's going to be a gradual change back into whatever focuses we got then.
Goals, yeah. I just can't believe how quickly it's come around.
Yeah.
Like, when did we book this? June? May?
Something like that, yeah.
It's just crazy. But I actually am getting quite excited now. That 18K for me I was really worried if it didn't go well. I was like, it's really going to knock my confidence. But now I've done that, I'm just like, what will be will be. Like, let's just do it. We're together.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, to summarize, just take it slow. Make sure you are listening to your body. If you're feeling some niggles and injuries and stuff and you're running, if it's something that is painful when you're running, stop running there.
Yeah.
You can come back to it. It's not a problem. If it's a lot of the time, it's funny because you can run through a lot of, you can start running and feel pain somewhere and it's, it might be minor pain and then you continue running and it kind of wears off and then you find it somewhere else and it might be a knee and then suddenly it's an ankle, then it's a hip.
Bad.
But yeah, so listen to your body, fuel your body. If you need to eat. I wouldn't advise doing this in a calorie deficit.
No. Not if you're going to be doing long runs.
Try and just keep your, time on feet as high as you can. So whether that's 3 runs a week, 2 runs a week, however you want to structure it. But I think it would be worth speaking to someone who runs a lot and finding out what's worked for them. Obviously, it's not necessarily going to work for you, but there's a good chance it will. And just gradual, like any sort of training, gradual, repetitive consistency.
When we've not been consistent, I've noticed a massive drop in progress. So definitely stay consistent. Yeah. And also, like, I've learned so much about paces as well. Like, keep an eye on your pace. And I used to be like, why can I not run for very long? It's probably because I was like going out trying to sprint. Like, just keep an eye on your heart rate, on your pace. Find what is comfortable for you. Do not compare to anyone else. Like, we went through a period of comparing to all these people that were doing 5Ks in like 20 minutes. And we were like, what? We're doing like 35 minutes. But I don't care about that. Do what is comfortable for you and just build it up. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, it's going to be slow but slow and steady wins the race, and at the end of the day, you're only racing against yourself. Sorry.
Amen, sister.
Left you hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're only racing against yourself. So, just enjoy it as much as you can, and if you absolutely hate it, find something else. Cool.
That'll be me after next Sunday. Finding something else.
Let's jump into the next segment then. So I believe you have a game.
You want to do that now?
Yeah, let's just jump in.
Okay.
It might be a little bit of a shorter episode this week. Depends how long this takes us. But
yeah, we've done quite a lot catching up though, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a would you rather game.
Ooh.
Number 1. Would you rather run a marathon with no training or lift heavy weights without proper form?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
God, they're both awful. That's awful. And both could cause injury.
I think run a marathon without training purely because...
I don't know.
Because, yeah, of course it's going to severely damage me, but the chances of that being long-term damage to my body would be quite slim. Whereas lifting heavy weights without correct form could seriously cause
that's true.
Some long-term damage. So I think that one. And also, you don't have to run the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's true. I guess the only other thing I would say, though, is half marathon running. Sorry, it's not even a half. It's a marathon. Running a marathon with no training will be horrendously hard.
Yeah.
Lifting weights with bad form isn't hard. Well,
I mean, a lot of people get away with lifting weights without bad form and
their whole lives.
Yeah.
And it's not actually hard. It's just you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get the right results, and you're probably going to hurt
That's
yourself.
true.
So
but
it's like what pain do you want
weights.
to... Yeah, I know.
So I'm my head's immediately going towards like deadlifts and squats.
Deadlifts, yeah.
And that scares me. It does.
Same. That's a weird one. 2, would you rather only be able to do cardio for the rest of your life or only do strength training?
Only do strength
training, obviously.
Cardio would be fun, but, absolutely strength training.
That would be awful.
Does that mean you just can't like run anywhere?
You can't walk.
You can't walk anywhere. You
Yeah.
just get a like scooter. Gotta go
Supposed to be
everywhere.
carrying weights if you're walking.
Everywhere on a scooter.
We shouldn't laugh at that.
No.
3, would you rather have to work out in complete silence or with loud, distracting music all the time?
Loud, distracting music all the time.
That's what we have anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what
That's
I do.
such a weird one. Like, obviously, distracting. I wonder what... Some would say your music is distracting.
To others, yeah.
Like heavy metal.
Does it have to be distracting to you, or is it just distracting for everyone around you?
No, you,
To be fair, I have worked out at places that have no music on and haven't had headphones. And although it's like, if you go to some like proper, like intense bodybuilding gyms, sometimes they won't necessarily have music on because the point is like you just concentrate on what you're doing. And I understand that it can be a distraction.
Yeah, I agree. And actually on that...
And you're in the moment then, aren't you? Completely in the moment.
And I've actually noticed that with running. That 18-kilometre run, I didn't have music on until the last 2K.
Yeah.
When you then dipped out and I was on my own, I was like, okay, I need the music.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of myself for that. That sounds really weird to say, but I was relying on music to get me through all these runs. And then actually when I stopped listening, I had my headphones in, but just... I don't know. It's almost like I find my pace better. You
just listen to yourself breathe and
and your feet on the floor.
Yeah. So
music can really change your pace with your running.
So
as well.
Running, no music.
Yeah.
Gym training, loud distracting music.
I know. I think I'd really struggle to do weight sessions without music. Because like in your rest periods as well, you just sat there in silence.
Yeah.
Also, my like gym sessions are my time to go and just like block out the world. So I want music. Okay. 4, would you rather have a personal trainer who yells at you or one who is overly nice? Interesting.
Ooh.
These are hard because like neither are what you want, obviously.
I generally, coming from a sports training background, have typically had, not that yell at me, but like I'd rather be told in an assertive manner that I'm doing something wrong or that I need to do more in a training aspect. I think if someone was like overly nice, it would take me out of the aggression for the training. It's
because you're I wouldn't say it's just because you're a man, but I think maybe everyone would want maybe a slightly different
of course
approach. Like some women might be like, no, I just want someone to nicely tell me.
For me, I think I'd want someone yelling.
I think if you were doing like a class, like a group class, like a spin class, not yelling at you, but like being a little bit more assertive, I think is quite good.
Yeah.
Okay, team, if we could now really slowly turn up our...
Yeah,
you
exactly.
wouldn't really want that.
It was a personal training session and yelling or overly nice.
I think yelling as well.
Yeah.
Like, not in a mean way, but someone to be like, you got this, come on, I want another rep out of you.
I'm going there to get my results.
I want to be pushed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 5, would you rather do yoga for an hour every day or run 5 miles every day? How far is 5 miles? I work in kilograms.
I work in kilometers.
What did I say? 5 miles in kilometers. 8K a day. No. I mean, I love yoga.
The health benefits are both fantastic, but in terms of my personal goals and stuff, yoga, because I think that
you would struggle with that, but
but you'd get used to it. Like you get,
and it's actually really
get
good
better
for
at
us.
running. But I think the injuries you'd pick up from running would be awful if you were doing that every day. 8K
Yeah,
a day?
yoga any day, definitely. Would you rather eat only protein shakes or only protein bars for a month?
Protein bars.
Bars, yeah. Shakes would get quite sickly, I think.
Yeah, it'd just be too much.
Unless it was maybe clear whey, and then it's more like
No,
just
but
having
even
squash.
like you can just drink. Like anyone who just drinks their nutrition, I always have an issue.
Only.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't do that. 7. Would you rather sweat profusely during a workout, that's you anyway, or never break a sweat no matter how hard you train?
Well, I would rather never break a sweat because I always sweat loads.
You're just such a sweaty person.
Yeah.
Why are you so hot?
Just run hot.
No.
I can't do that.
I don't sweat much when I do weight training, but when I do like that run on the treadmill, my face was like dripping.
That's just
Stairmaster.
me. That's me just walking towards a treadmill.
That's you just sat on the sofa. Yeah. You should see him in the summer. He just sweats all the time, and I'm like, can you not sit on the sofa? Like you're like, I'll put my hand on, and I'm like, ugh, like you're just wet, just like clammy all the time. Like it must be horrible.
Your beauty radiates heat, so.
Okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We're all unique in our own way.
It's not great for me though.
Yeah, it must not be nice. So you'd say not break a sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
You'd want to be really sweaty. Wouldn't you rather?
Some people do think like, oh, I didn't really break a sweat, so I obviously didn't work very hard.
No, of course, but there's other ways you can know if you worked hard. And who would want to be really sweaty?
No, well, that's not an indication of how good your workout was or how.
But
how
just
hard
in general,
you worked.
at any point, who'd want to be really sweaty?
Yeah, I know. That's why these questions are weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the last one.
Oh, there you go.
That's the end of our game.
That's the end of our game.
And we've done our listener's message. So that's pretty much the end of the episode.
That is the end of the episode.
Oh.
Well,
we hope you enjoyed. It was a little bit of a random one this week. Next week, we'll come back with a more specific topic, probably.
We'll tell them what we're going to do now. So we're going to chat about different body types and how they can not affect your training goals, but how you can try and think about your own body type and how you can most effectively train for that body type. Do you want to
try that again?
No, I think I've got it. But yeah, tune in next week for some of that.
Sometimes he talks so slowly I can't.
It's because I'm trying to think at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I watch you. I can see you doing it. Like trying to think and speak.
I just won't talk anymore then. You
Okay.
can sign off.
Perfect. I'm joking. I love you. Yeah, so tune in for that next week, and I'm sure we'll have some more listeners' messages. Maybe we'll even play another game. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Have a lovely week, and this time next week we will be very close to the half marathon. So, wish us luck. Say goodbye, Callum.
Goodbye, Callum.
Goodbye.